Hey, yo, what up, what up, what up? It's Lamette with Sly Sports TV. Right back at you. This video was really supposed to come yesterday, so we about a day late, but you know how that go. So when we talk about that fight card, it was a pretty fight card, actually. Right? But why am I saying that? I mean, it was mostly a women's fight card on Dazn. Dazn has really stepped up big for women's boxing. If it wasn't for Dazn Matchroom, like, women's boxing would not be where it is today. Like, they are putting on some great fights. All women cards. So that's what we're gonna start with today. The battle of the supermodels. That's what I'll start with. The battle of the supermodels. Ramallah Ali and Avril Mathi. This was a beautiful fight. And I mean that, like, bro, I really think these two women in particular, Ramallah Ali and Avril Mathi, they might have broke the fourth wall of art, bro. Like, I ain't never seen two women that beautiful, right? That fucking beautiful, fighting that good. Like, it's one thing, you know, I see pretty women fight, you know, unfortunately, a lot, quite a bit, right? But not like that. I'm used to seeing, no, bro, these bitches was fighting, bro. They was boxing. I can't even say they was fighting. They was in there boxing. It was beautiful. Great fucking fight. I think it was good for Ramallah Ali to go through that type of fight. She really hadn't been tested. This is her first real test, you know. That Avril Mathi, I mean, she was undefeated. She's an undefeated fighter, you know, and absolutely beautiful. So I don't know. I guess that's my takeaway. Like, just aesthetically, I was really looking at that fight for some of the wrong reasons, right? Beautiful fight, like the way they went out there and put it all on the line. They fought very hard. Now, with all that said, those scorecards were bullshit, bro. And yes, I did have Ramallah Ali winning that fight by maybe 2 rounds, maybe 2. Maybe you could squeeze out 3, right? But for that fight card to come out 99-91, there's no way in hell Ramallah Ali took that many rounds from Avril Mathi. Sorry, that's just bullshit. That's bullshit. But you know, it's a good win. But I gotta say, boxing needs a fucking league, bro. Boxing needs a league. Like, the sport can't take too much more of this. The sport really cannot take too much more of this. Like, we gonna have to get some congressmen involved or something. Something's got to give. This is bullshit. So the next fight I'm gonna talk about is the Sky Nicholson versus Tanya Alvarez. This was a classic bull versus matador, probably even more extreme than a classic version of it, right? This was just very extreme. You got one fighter, Sky Nicholson, who's in there boxing, trying to jab, you know, and the other fighter, Tanya Alvarez, I mean, she was just running in head first, like literally running in head first. At first, when the fights first started, she was running in and not even throwing punches. She was just like taking punches, just running in, taking them, not even giving anything. And then eventually she started coming in, throwing shots. And it was a very rough and tumble fight. You know, the thing about those types of fights is, the thing about fights like that, hang on. Man, that shit is gross. It's a couple styles that's always going to be tougher, especially if you are a pure boxer, right? And that is somebody who's fighting an all defense fight. They call that a negative fight. Somebody's fighting that way. You know, basically not trying to exchange at all. Just every time you get close, they're running away. They're not throwing any punches. They're not open. That's tough to beat for obvious reasons. It's not really tough to outscore because the person ain't throwing nothing back, but it's just tough to stay in that type of fight and stay motivated with somebody who's fighting you like that. The other style is the style that Tanya Alvarez came in with. Like somebody who's just rough and tumble. They're just trying to, rough you up. They're not really boxing. They're not throwing punches. It's just a bunch of clinching and, those fights is tough. Like, so, I mean, I hear the criticism people have of Sky Nicholson. I'm not a big Sky Nicholson fan, by the way. I'm really not a huge fan. She's cool, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, but I'm not going to criticize her too much. Like, certain fights, there's no way for you to look pretty. Now, the only way that she could have is if she had some punching power, right? And she could catch Tanya Alvarez coming in and she could have knocked her out, right? Like some styles that rushing in head first won't work against. A person's only going to do that when they know that you can't punch. See, when they know you can't punch, they can come right through the front door because what's the deterrent, right? There's no deterrent. So, yeah, I mean, I thought Sky Nicholson, she fought just good enough to win that fight. That fight was rough. It wasn't pretty. Fighting against fighters like that. Fighting against fighters like that, they have a mentality. It's like they already know they're going to lose on the cards. Okay? They know they're not going to win on the cards. That's not what they're banking on. They're banking on hurting you and getting you the fuck up out of there. Right? That's what the pre-fight strategy is for them. So people saying like, damn, she's losing every round. Yeah, but she might be losing, or he might be losing on the cards. But what about the money they put in the bank as far as like hurting you? Who's winning the hurt game? Who's winning the hurt game? That's Artur Beterbie's style. Like, now he's kind of like the best of both worlds because he can box too. He can box, he can move, he can definitely punch. But I think we all know his bread and butter. He's trying to get you out of there. He doesn't want to depend on judges, right? That's not what he's doing. He's banking on hurting you and stopping you. That's why I laugh at all these people talking about Bivol gonna beat his ass. Bivol. Look, man. This guy got 100% knockout rate, okay? 100%. Beterbiev does. Once he start punching on Bivol, he gonna break down too. Let me get back to this card though, this women's card, because the next fight up was my baby, Alicia Applebaum Baumgartner, right? And I didn't really talk too much about this fight leading up to it because it's not the fight that I really wanted. I wanted her to fight Choi. Choi's been holding on to the belts and being a champion and all this shit for way too long. I wanted her to get that L, but we see that Choi, she escaped another one, right? She escaped another ass whipping. Because it ain't no doubt in my mind that Michaela Mayer or Alicia Baumgartner would have beat Choi up, right? But anyway, Alicia Baumgartner versus Ellen Mekkelet. Good fight, man. Good fucking fight. I thought it was going to end early, and to be honest, the fight should have ended early. The fight should have ended in that third round. I've seen fights end like that plenty of times, right? I've seen those types of fights. I've seen fighters get hurt like that, and the fight ends just like that. So the fight could have ended in the third. The fight could have ended in the fourth. Like, he was ruling out knockdowns, legitimate knockdowns. Mekkelet, I'm talking about, was getting hit and going down, and the referee's saying, no, it's a push, it's this, it's that. Like, nah, man, nah, that ain't it. Like, I counted 4 legit knockdowns by Bumgarner, and at least 2 times where the fight could have been stopped. Okay, so now with all that said, that Ella Mechaled, man, she is very tough, man, because she was eating some punches and she was dishing out some punches. Alicia Bumgarner needs to tighten up that defense a little bit, right? She was getting hit with too many flush backhands, right? I get it, you're twitchy, you got your front arm down, you're twitchy, right? But if you're gonna be twitchy, you need to be twitchy. You can't be twitchy getting hit with right hands and shit. That just means you're not as quick as you probably think. Like, put your guard up. Because I saw Mechaled tag her flush a few times, right? And that's just not gonna be helpful against a lot of people. I mean, you fight the wrong person with that type of strategy, and you'll get hurt and dropped and knocked out. And we all know I don't want to see that happen to her, right? So tighten up that defense, okay? Got to get that defense tightened up. Good fight, though. Good fight. Bumgarner won easily. She won that fight easily, especially with the knockdowns and, you know, as many times she hurt her. Like, easy win for Alicia Bumgarner. The last fight was Amanda Serrano versus Erica Cruz. Kind of an ugly fight, right? Kind of an ugly fight, but it was ugly for the right reasons. The fight was ugly for all the right reasons. That fight was ugly because Erica Cruz came throwing punches, bro. Erica, and really both of them. I mean, we know Amanda Serrano, she's gonna swing. But Erica Cruz, she was dipping low, going to the body. Every exchange she was throwing. There was not too many exchanges that didn't, where both fighters wasn't throwing like 3-4 punch combinations. They came to fight, right? They came to fight. With that said, and I thought it was a great fight. Great fight. Amanda Serrano, she's a legend, man. You know, she is a legend. I really like what she's done with her career. I wasn't as big a fan at first. I thought she was kind of like running from Katie Taylor, but no, she wasn't running from Katie Taylor. She was maximizing her profits for that fight, right? So she did the exact right thing, and that's awesome, you know. And she's still going. Probably about to get another Katie Taylor fight. But you know, we'll see. If I'm Amanda Serrano, I'm not going into another Katie Taylor fight, especially in Ireland. Like, they screwed you in New York. Like, it gotta be fuck you forever. Like, why can't people, it's okay. Like, sometimes when people just do you wrong, you gotta be okay with saying fuck you forever. Forever. And be okay with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should not revisit Katie Taylor. She got screwed in New York. So what you think is going to happen? You think in Ireland they're going to give her a decision? Hell, I would stay clear of it. I would go for, you know, Amanda Serrano versus Alicia Bumgarner. That's a good fucking fight. And somebody's getting knocked out in that fight. So, yeah, I like that fight. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. If you like it, go ahead and bang that like button one time. Peace.